So I'd now like to invite the Minister to make opening remarks. Please go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chair, thank you, and good morning, colleagues. Thank you for being here this morning to discuss this important issue. Your chair has introduced my colleagues, senior officials who are joining me this morning. Some of us are old hands at this table, Mr. Chair, but it is, Vanessa tells me, as our interim director of CSIS, it's her first time before this parliamentary committee. So, Vanessa, welcome to this important part of our parliamentary democracy, and thank you for joining us. As members are aware, Mr. Chair, the investigation and arrest of these individuals are the result of the efforts of Canada's national security, intelligence, and law enforcement partners. At the very beginning, I would like to take the opportunity, as I have said in on other occasions, to commend the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, the Canada Border Services Agency, and their partners, the Ontario Provincial Police, the Toronto Regional Police Service, the York Regional Police Service, the Peel Regional Police Service, and the Durham Regional Police Service for their outstanding work together in this important case. The arrest of these two individuals is a great example of outstanding police and intelligence work. As new information became available, our national security partners acted quickly to keep Canadians safe. While I will gladly provide the committee with as much information as possible, of course, understanding Canadians' obvious interest in answers to these many questions, we must remember that we should, excuse me, I've had a cold for a number of weeks. We must remember that we should have these discussions in a manner that does not impair the Crown's ability to prosecute these accused persons or to police services' ability to investigate any or all of these circumstances in their judgment if they deem it to be necessary to continue those investigations. As I said, Mr. Chair, all Canadians deserve answers and transparency, and that is precisely what all of us aim to provide today. This morning, I submitted to the committee in English and French a chronology of events that was worked on by the security agencies represented with me at the table, and of course our Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Department colleagues as well. Members will note the chronology shows that it was only in June of this year that CSIS became aware of the potential threat posed by these subjects. For greater precision, I was informed by CSIS on July 24th of this year, in a briefing where senior officials of the RCMP were also present, that CSIS had been assessing the threat from these individuals based on recent intelligence. Upon learning this information, CSIS took immediate measures to assess and obviously mitigate the threat. I was assured of and briefed on the close surveillance of the threat, including at the appropriate time by members of the RCMP who were positioned to act on any indicators of an escalating or imminent threat. And as you know, these individuals were arrested on July 28th of this year and are now charged with 9 serious offenses, including terrorism-related offenses, and are currently incarcerated, remanded into custody. This is the way that the investigative and national security system should work. Cela étant dit, il est important.
Having said that, it is important to inquire into how these individuals ended up in Canada in the first place. Security screening is the first, but not the only, line of defense against those who seek to enter Canada or to obtain Canadian status in order to harm our citizens or our national interests. A screening takes place in 3 stages: before a person reaches Canada, at the border, and, on occasion, after the person is already in Canada. Before an individual reaches Canada, the IRCC, the Immigration Department, the Canada Border Services Agency, and the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service work in close collaboration in order to carry out security screenings. Based on risk indicators, the Immigration Department identifies applications requiring a more in-depth security screening by the Canada Border Services Agency or CSIS. These two agencies use a variety of techniques and methodologies. They also rely on a robust network of international partners as they carry out their assessments. At the border, all persons wishing to enter Canada are subjected to a CBSA screening. They must prove that they satisfy the entry criteria. Decisions are made based on information available at the time of the person's entry. Officials in my department and at the Immigration Department are currently reviewing the files of the two individuals in question in order to understand exactly what information was available at the time the decisions surrounding them were made. Once we obtain this understanding, we will move rapidly to make the necessary changes to our systems so as to strengthen them.
Important for Canadians to know, Mr. Chair, is that our security services operate continuously, seeking out threats within Canada and threats that may come to us from abroad, and then they respond quickly and effectively. The fact that these two individuals are in jail and face serious criminal charges reflects the outstanding work done by the RCMP and their partners. Mr. Chair, our government's broader counterterrorism efforts are designed to detect and prevent terrorism activities, obviously at the earliest opportunity. Together with our security and law enforcement partners, our government will continue to prevent, detect, disrupt, and respond to any suspected terrorist threats and activities, and hold accountable those persons who may seek to undertake such activities. And with that, Mr. Chair, thank you for your invitation. I imagine most of you have missed me a lot over the summer. You must be very excited to see me. Looking at your smiling faces tells me that this is a very happy reunion, and I'm looking forward to our conversation that will follow. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.